Hi, hello everyone. Assalamualaikum and good morning to all of you. So today I am going to teach Unit 10, The Peach Boy. I am going to focus on listening and speaking for today. Okay, as you can take a look in your textbook in Unit 10, you will see a book cover. Okay, and then you might thinking like, okay, there are two elder people on the book cover, and what might be surprise to you, there was a baby coming out from a fruit. So that fruit is a peach. So, wow, how can a baby fit in a fruit? How big was the peach fruit to fit a baby inside it, right? And probably you might be thinking, where is the origin of this story? Okay. Is it a Malaysian? Or is it an Indonesian story? Or a China? Okay. You might probably need to take a look at what the elders were wearing. So as you can see, the elder woman and the elder man kind of wearing of traditional clothes. So we will get to know which country it is. First, I am going to tell you what is a folktale. So a folktale is an old story passed down verbally from generation to generation. So which means that this story has been sharing by mouth. So which means there is a person telling a story to another person by using a mouth. So which means by oral. Okay, so where do you think the folktale Momotaro is from? So looking at the dress, like looking at the way the people are dressed in the book cover, I think it might be from Japan. So the conclusion is, let's learn some more about Japan. Okay, as you can see, the elder woman and the elder man are wearing were wearing Japanese traditional costumes. Okay, we're going to get to know 6 items when we went to get to know more about Japan. So the first one is about their costumes. We have kimono, yukata, and hakama. So actually kimono and yukata looks identical is because that kimono is actually the fabric, okay, the material. So which means kimono, the material is heavier than yukata. So yukata is lighter and kimono is a bit expensive, while yukata is inexpensive, or in other way is more cheaper than kimono. Yukata can be wearing by women and men, while hakama is specifically for men. Okay, if you're going to wear a kimono, you need an obi. Obi is a sash, okay? So this is the obi, which means obi is to tie and secure your kimono or yukata so that it will not be falling out. So of course, okay, you don't want to wear something and then at the end it will fall out, right? Okay, and then next is we are going to learn about Japanese customs. So what is custom? Custom, also called a tradition. So it's a common way of doing things. It is something that many people do and have done for a long time. Okay, so it's been so we have to follow the tradition. So so that it will be so people will know that, oh, this is a Japanese customs, this is a Malaysian customs. Okay, so the first one is sitting upright on a tatami mat. So what is a tatami mat? Okay, in this picture you can see that in all of this picture they are tatami mat. So you have to sitting upright on a tatami mat. So even you want to eat or drink or even talking, you have to sit upright. Okay, next is bow to greet one another. Okay, even you are younger or older, you want to bow to a younger person or to an older person, you have to bow to greet one another. So it's basically based on the degrees or angles of the bow. Okay, and the third one is you have to stand on the correct side when using the escalators. So as most of the people in cities in Japan are always rushing, Okay, make sure you stand at the correct side so you will not be blocking by the rushing Japanese. I do not know why Japanese always in rush, but probably because they want to get to the specific place on time. Okay, so you have to make sure you will be in the correct side. Okay, then when you have to take off your shoes, and then you have to take on with the slippers. Okay, which will like put off your shoes and put on with the slippers. Okay, this will be happening even at house or in the restaurants. Okay, and use chopstick correctly. Okay, when you go to Japanese restaurants or you are having a meal with the Japanese, you have to try your best to use chopstick correctly, because Japanese eat all Japanese style meals with chopsticks. Even soup is consumed with chopsticks. The ingredients are eaten with chopsticks, and the soup is drunk from the bowl itself. So which means that if you go to Japanese restaurant, for example to the sushi restaurants, you have to try your best to use the chopstick. Okay, that's what people say, practice makes perfect. Okay, you have to know how to hold the sushi roll with your chopsticks. Okay, people will not going to laugh at you because you're not Japanese. Okay, but you are trying your best to use it well. Okay, and there is no tipping in any situation in Japan. Okay, in the cabs or restaurants, okay, to tip someone is actually a little insulting for them. So the service you have asked for are covered by the price given. So why pay more? The next one is punctuality. This is really important. Every minute counts in Japan. The Japanese take punctuality seriously. So if you plan a meeting with the locals, make sure you turn up on time. Lame excuses are not acceptable. So which means that if you make the excuse of, oh, there was a traffic jam, oh, I was having a stomach ache this morning. So those lame excuses are not accepted. Yeah, and then the lastly is wearing a mask. So even before the COVID-19 or coronavirus, the Japanese, okay, most of them already wear a mask, especially on train. So if you have a cold, even a slight cold, make sure you get a mask in a nearby convenience store. Okay, many people will ask, or I will get this question from my student, okay, asking, okay, if the Japanese are already wearing the mask, why they still have a coronavirus cases? Okay, a mask is actually just one of the ways to prevent it, but many other ways can be contacted. For example, cramp, like being cramping in a place. So as you know that in Japan, okay, in a train, especially during the peak hours, is a very cramped. So yeah, one of the reason why they still got coronavirus cases. Okay, and then the third one is where we want to get to know the food. Okay, I know many of you probably like to eat Japanese food, even I am. So we want to get to know more about Japanese food. Okay, first is sashimi. So a dish with thinly sliced raw fish. So as you can see, this is the raw fish. Okay, it's either you will dip in the soy sauce, okay, or you're going to eat it with rice, and probably you want to dip in some wasabi, okay, for some flavor to it. Okay, and then is dango. Dango is Japanese dumpling and sweet made from mochiko, which is rice flour. So if you know mochi, dango and mochi kind of similar, but dango is more stickier. Okay, and then I know you can name a lot more Japanese food, so I just list, okay, few of Japanese food which are popular as well in Malaysia. Okay, you can eat soba, udon, onigiri. Okay, even we have a Japanese convenience store, okay, which is Family Mart, so we can get all this food there. Okay, we can get oden, and then we can get takoyaki, okay, and we can eat shabu shabu. Okay, so I think that you know all of this food, and probably some of you are the Japanese food lover. Okay, now we get to know the fruits in Japan. So there are a lot of fruits nurtured and cultured and even harvested in Japan. So some of them are momo. Okay, what is that? Okay, momo is a peach. Yuzu, a Japanese lemon. Okay, this is nashi, a pear. Kaki, ume, kinkan. Okay, I want to know one facts about kaki. Okay, in Malay, we call this fruit as pisang kaki. So, one of the way to remember a persimmon in Japan and also in Malay, it's pisang kaki. So, in Japan, we call it kaki, and in Malay, we call it pisang kaki. So, it is a persimmon. And the fifth item is the flowers. So, when are the flowers are going to bloom in Japan? Okay, they're going to bloom during the spring. So, from March to May is the spring season in Japan. So, you might want to go there during this season to watch the beautiful blooming flowers. So, we have ume, okay, the plum blossoms, shibazakura, the pink moss. Okay, this is a very famous tourist attraction. Okay, shibazakura, the pink moss. It looks like that. And then we have sakura, the cherry blossoms. Wisteria. Okay, normally wisteria is purple in color. And we have hydrangea. Okay, hydrangeas is normally like multicolors. Okay, and then the festivals. Okay, there are a lot of festivals will be happening throughout the years in Japan. Okay, so we want to get to know some of the popular festivals in Japan. Okay, one is Takayama Matsuri. So Matsuri means festivals. Okay, so Takayama is ranked as one of Japan's 3 most beautiful festivals alongside Kyoto's Giant Matsuri and Chichibu Yomatsuri. So you get to know that. Okay, it is held twice a year in spring and autumn in the old town Takayama. So Takayama means floats. Okay, so these are the decorated floats. So it means that it will be marching around the town. So it will attract a large number of people to watch at it. Next is Sapporo Snow Festival. So Sapporo Snow Festival held during 1 week every February in Hokkaido's capital, which is Sapporo. So it is one of the Japan's most popular winter events. Okay, many tourists will go to Japan during this snow festival because you might want to experience the snow slide, or you want to see this ice sculptures. Okay, it will be different each year. So this Star Wars ice sculpture was from 2015. And then I think there will be a lot more of the festivals that you get to know. There are fireworks festivals in Japan, or there will be like festivals, okay, like you can see that Kyoto's Giant Matsuri and Chichibu Matsuri. So if you want to know more about their festivals, you can Google that out. Okay, so I think that's all for today's lesson. Okay, I hope that we get to know more about Japanese costumes, Japanese customs, Japanese food, and their flowers, and also their festivals. Okay? And then, now, for your exercise for today is, okay, number 1. You have to list 3 each for Malaysia's costumes, customs, food, fruits, flowers, and festival in your exercise book. Okay, we get to know the Japanese costumes, customs, and so on. So now is this time where I want you to list down Malaysia's costumes, custom, food, fruits, flowers, and festivals in your exercise book. Okay, your teacher will tell you which book that you have to use later, okay, in your Google Classroom. And the second one, I want you to find the similarities and differences between Japan and Malaysia in a double bubble map. So I hope you still remember how to draw double bubble map. So if you do not remember that, I already provide an example. So you have to find the three similarity of these two countries and then also three differences. So I